Okay, then we start with Segura.
Okay.
1844, Tommy Buns, Tom Segura. Best-selling author.
I'm all thrown off now.
Best-selling author is crazy.
Yeah, that is.
Is there anything you can't do?
Doesn't seem like it. If you think about it, like the Joe Rogan Experience is going to be 12 years old on Christmas, and like Tom Segura was
Ridiculed him for doing the podcast.
Yeah, but even then was not like a big time act at the time either.
I don't think. Yeah, well, he was maybe a headliner, but no one knew who he was.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing fucking stadiums.
No,
he didn't have
no. He was a club comic getting booed out of Rumors in Winnipeg.
This is what I'm saying. So
he started
the podcast, quite a come up in 10 years for old Tommy Buns.
Yeah, for sure. It does make sense though that he is an best-selling author. Like once you get your fan base, you can just translate that into doing just about anything. If you make a sports drink, they're going to love that sports drink, you know?
They have Die Hard.
Turns out, apparently, they don't even own that sports drink, eh, Kamar?
The
Prime he's talking about.
Prime.
Yeah, they're just advertising it.
They say they own
Yeah.
it, but they're not they don't own it. They're just like the face of
Spokesperson.
it. That really hurts me.
Well, what if they have shares in it? Then
Doesn't
do they own it?
matter. They talk like they are the owners.
But if they have
But wait,
5%, they are an owner.
Yeah, that's
I
a good point. Like
understand.
if you own 10% of a company, are you lying saying that you're...
No, but as I understood it from the little
They make
bit
it seem
that
like
I
they
watched,
developed a drink.
they
picked
make
up
it
the
seem
bottle.
like they fucking took it on Dragon's Den and ran it from fucking square one to square whatever.
But what made you think that? Because I never got that.
Just the way Logan Paul talks about it, how it's
everywhere.
yeah, it's just whatever. And like, look, I don't mind when the way they do their like candid plugs on that show is horrible. Like
It's the industry standard.
it seems so exploitive. No, it doesn't seem right, but you tolerate it because you're like, he's pumping himself up. Do you know what I mean? He's not selling like aftershave lotion. He's selling his own Prime drink, but that's not what's happening.
I honestly feel like we're getting such a though, but you get distracted from some shows. Like I think everyone is shamelessly plugging whatever they're doing. Like it's even Joe, like with his just inserted ads at
the
any
baked-
time.
yeah.
Forget, I'm not talking about the ads, Kay. I'm
say
not
it's
talking about
disingenuous
ads.
how
I'm
they're
talking
coming
about
off.
he's trying to do it organically for himself. It's different when you're hucking somebody else's stuff. If I got on here right now and started telling you to go buy my art on my website, this is my, it's a platform that we have. I'd be crazy not to use it to plug something else. That's not what he's doing. He's selling it for money and making it seem like it's his. It's weird, man. I don't know. Why can't you see that?
I see Schultz do the same sort of things. Like
Schultz isn't saying I own a tequila company, buy my tequila, and then he doesn't actually own the
it's
company. He's just a face of it
the
getting
issue
paid.
for you is they're acting like they own it, but
Yeah,
they're just
they're lying.
well. You got to say the gambling ones are way more egregious.
Again, way more egregious. Two totally different things.
No, see, I don't agree. It's just marketing, whether it's honest marketing or it's just promoting stuff. Like I think it's all the same. It's what the product is makes a difference.
The gambling ones are so weird.
The gambling ones are disgusting.
If they just said we don't own Prime, but we'd love to drink it, then you're fine.
Well, then it's just an ad spot they're doing for Prime. Look, Kamar, they have ad spots on their show, okay? The same way we do, where they play, we sold 5 ad spots for this show. Not us, them, let's say, because they do a lot of ads.
Wouldn't that be a good week?
They do sell a lot of ads on their show. So
Well, yeah,
you're
it's easy
already
when you have a
having
big
to
reach.
listen to their 5 ads. He's also hucking his own things, his Pokemon, whatever, fine. It's your company. I'll tolerate it. And you're hucking Prime all the time. You're taking away from time I want to listen to whatever the fuck you're talking about to huck me Prime. I was like, okay, fine. It's your own company. You're going up against Goliaths and you're a tiny little guy trying to beat Gatorade. That's not what this is. It's a lie.
Welcome to the Paul brothers.
I like that Kamar opens with Tom Segura. best-selling author. And Simon immediately goes, you know what? Fuck Jake Paul and fuck Logan Paul and their goddamn inserted ads. This is fucking horse shit. Like, okay. Weird flex,
That was-
but okay.
Hold on,
That was your
let's
week.
backtrack.
That felt like a post Joe topic, but okay.
Okay, go on with Tommy Buns.
Then they started always talking about who had the bigger balls between Artie and Joey. Always funny times.
Ari?
I think they said Joey in the end, but
No,
Artie.
but you said Artie.
Artie. Oh,
Artie.
So is it Artie Lang?
Ari Lang is who you're referring to.
Ari Shafir and Joey Diaz. And that led them to Super Bert, who I think they're planning an intervention. Not that it works.
Well, Joe is like Joe. I feel a genuine hostility from Joe.
Well, Joe's just pissed that Joe's like, I'm out here doing so much. I'm out here doing like so much extra shit. The amount of money I spend on this temple of a body. And Bert's out there just living his fucking best life with this Mickey Mantle gene. Goes to the doctor. Doctor's like, your liver's great. Like, you could hear when Joe was like, how is his liver great? There was a disdain in there. Like a...
Oh, I do all this stuff to be in top shape. Yeah, then there's just jealousy of the Mickey Mantle
I think
gene.
there may be a little jealousy too of Bert and this Fully Loaded tour. Looks like they're just having so much fun. It's all the guys Joe wants to hang out with. You know what I mean? And they're doing it, and he's stuck at the podcast.
Did you see he did a podcast with like everyone?
I saw
in a
it.
room?
I watched it today.
It was a little.
It was crazy, but it was
going on.
fun.
But they all just go and do 15 minutes.
15.
It's the greatest time ever.
1-5.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, how long can the show be?
I don't know. I thought it was like a 5-hour show.
No, you can't. People's concentration,
Dude,
I'm sure, is
Shane
within 2 hours.
Gillis is so fucking funny.
He's feeling himself, eh?
He is so funny. Yeah, he is feeling himself.
But
As
like
he should be.
Like they said, Bert is trapped in like he can never not take his shirt off. He can never not do the machine story. But if it's just the results it's breeding, like I'm sure this owner is like hates Bert, like a comedian sort of
course,
who's like he does this, he does that and stuff. But
Yeah, they envy him.
and that's how it. But he's spreading the love. Bert's doing everything right. He had a guy on, John Christ, on his podcast. He's like a Christian. His name just happens to be
His
that.
name is John Christ, and he's a Christian?
Yeah, he's a Christian comic, but he
Oh,
got.
it's a fake last name.
It's a stage name, sure. It doesn't matter. Just for reference, if someone wants to look this up,
Is it John Christ?
maybe that's how it's pronounced. It doesn't matter. I just heard a clip. You know what I mean? And it was about how he was like dating around and got caught up in the tabloids and had to go to rehab, and just how he handled it all. And Bert was like, "How did you know you had to go to rehab?" And he was like, "Well, I had a drink in the morning," and I was like, "Well, this might
Bert's
be."
on his fifth. It's 11
No,
a.m.
Bert just is like, "Oh dear," Bert goes, "Oh dear," and it was so funny. Bert like, I love it when people have a cocktail. They played the clip on Bert.
It would be hilarious if they got Bert clean and he became like a totally different comic, like real serious Bill Hicks type. And then just at the end of his set, just like took off his shirt gently. I mean, just folded it, put it on the stool, and
reverse
then just
Bert?
walked out. Yeah. Thank you. Good evening.
It's the Machine acoustic.
Yeah. Unplugged.
Yeah, unplugged.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was trying to think as they were talking about the idea of you could just get stuck into that character, like Larry the Cable Guy, but I don't think he's like that.
Yes, I'd love one. It's not. I agree. Like,
Yes, please.
Larry the Cable Guy was a character. Dice Man was a character.
Exactly.
Bert is Bert. I don't think he's playing like.
Oh no! I didn't mean like that. I was just thinking of examples because what they said about Dice. Because I don't think Larry the Cable Guy actually took over his life. Like he'd go out and get her done.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, but
Dice actually became Dice.
Yeah, but I'm saying Bert is just being who Bert has always been.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not like, I mean, listen, he hams it up with the laugh sometimes, a little extra, but that's whatever. I think that's excusable.
Maybe Cat Williams. Or he's always been wild like that because he is wild.
I think he was always wild. I mean, not like Punch a Kid wild. But yeah, he seemed like a wildcat. I think a lot of comedians are a bit unhinged.
It's just that one thing where I would love to actually think about forming a character, and then because Simon's been writing me jokes.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
And did I tell you why it works so well?
Why?
Because if it bombs, it's his joke.
Yeah.
And if it does well, I did it well. And it's just such a safe space.
Just relieves you of all pressure.
Until you do it in front of him and he tells you didn't do it right. Okay, man. I said you have to say things out 3 or 4 times before it comes off, but yeah. Then they talk about the homelessness. I can't tell if it's getting better in LA.
Well, he made it seem like it was.
But he's in Texas now himself.
Yes.
He moved the whole operation.
Yes. But no. They still have I believe they still have your mom's house studio in LA.
He's killing it that he flies to
No. They record most of their stuff, like the Danny Brown show, your mom's house. That's all in Austin now.
Yeah.
But I think they still have like the Dr. Drew's show, Ryan Sickler's show. I think all those are still done in the old your mom's house. Listen, you're forgetting that these people are rich. Like, yeah, you and I right now, we'd have to sell this place and move. You know what I mean?
Oh, the scope of having these things. But I mean, that's how businesses work. Businesses pay for themselves.
Yeah, of course. And they have a massive business. Like they are, I don't know what Google says, but I bet Christine is also very successful. They probably have a fucking shitload of money.
And kids. But like you said, he's been the biggest of all the Rogan bumps and people come up from nothing to something. Like even at one time, Bert was ahead of Tom, that he was on shows and stuff.
Well, he had like a television
Think
show.
of it this way.
career.
Look at like the other people Joe has had opening for him and where their careers are, and then where Tom's career is. It's head and shoulders above everybody else. Santino, Ari,
Yeah.
Joey.
You're agreeing with me.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you 100%. Like he's killed it. He's in some ways eclipsed Joe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. His Joe is one podcast, not a network. It's not like he brought all these guys under his wing. But I just the glaring consistency with Tom Segura is he's such a nice guy.
Well, my buddy, it's funny because my buddy called me this week and he's like, "Have you listened to the Tom Segura episode yet?" And I was like, "No, I haven't."
Whatever.
And then he was like, Tom just seems like the kind of guy that, like, out of all of them that you'd want to like have a drink with or just like sit down and chill with. Like, out of all of them, he seems like the one that you'd probably like.
You wouldn't feel like you'd have to impress him or.
Yeah, like his sense of humor. Like, what did my buddy say? He's like, if you got stuck on like if you got bumped up to first class and ended up beside like any comedian, Tom Segura is probably the one that would like engage you or like.
So there's nothing super remarkable about him that makes him just so
What do you
relatable.
think Tom's net worth is according to this 2022?
50 million.
I bet it's gonna be low. It's gonna say like 2 million or something.
No, it's higher than that, but it's substantially lower than 50.
I just threw out a
15
number.
million.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's way more than
If
that.
he has $50 million in cash plus assets,
You're
maybe?
forgetting that it still says Joe's worth 40. So do the math on what Tom's probably worth. And even then, you're acting
No,
like
it doesn't say Joe's worth 40. He says it's worth 100 million.
you're acting like $15 million is something to laugh at.
Well, I just
Like,
think he's worth way more.
If
than
you
that.
Googled me right now and it said I was worth 15 million,
If you Google how much
Well, I
I'm worth,
wouldn't believe
you
it.
owe money.
it charges you $5.
They say Bert is worth 3 million. That can't be right. It can't be right.
It can be. I mean, one of the things they talked about on this podcast is how Tom's doing 190 shows.
insane.
I mean,
Nuts.
they're all
At least
they're not
like,
open mics that you're just showing up like I hope there's a crowd
What,
there. It's
30 grand per show? What do you think he makes per show?
exactly,
Oh yeah, 50 probably.
exactly 50 grand a show, maybe more.
I know for a fact, like a Tribe Called Red, we're making 50 grand a show. So I assume Tom Segura is doing probably better than them.
And that's probably at a theater. But if you're going now to a stadium,
Yeah, you start
Arenas,
doing
yeah.
MSG and stuff like that, it gets. Oof.
anyways, I guess
It also
he's
costs
just
you more though. You're forgetting the.
the bigger tour, reserving the space.
Yeah, there's it's like diminishing returns. That's the word I'm looking for. Because like once you get into the arena space, the security alone eats up.
Insurance, yada yada yada.
But again, the ticket is also more expensive. Like I was telling Simon, Bill Burr is playing Toronto in August. I was looking at tickets on StubHub. Anything in like the first 5 rows is $2,600 to $2,200.
Whoa!
Which is crazy because I was like row 3 at Bill
Whoa,
Burr
whoa.
at the NAC,
But
and it was like $200.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say that. But did you even look at what the cheapest seat would have been?
Yeah, $390 for like nosebleed.
See, that's so weird because Joe Rogan, when we went to see him,
I just said
there-
this is on StubHub.
Oh,
Like a listener of ours hit me up and was like, I bought them when they went on sale and I got mine for $60.
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Because I was
okay.
gonna say StubHub. That's like looking at something on eBay.
Yeah, I
You
get it.
gotta
I'm-
sell it.
it's a
first.
Yeah,
scalping.
I understand. I'm just saying, like right now, it's sold out. So if you wanted to get a ticket for Bill Burr in Toronto, that's the fucking going rate, which is insane.
That's insane.
I see.
But
I misunderstood. what
what's
you were
even
saying.
more insane about that is it's not like he's getting that money.
No, that's all
That's
resale.
someone- a
But I'm just
secondary
saying, the point is
market.
most of those tickets are probably in the like $60 to like a $200 range. He's probably killing it.
You
Had
see,
you.
if they put tickets on the blockchain, then they could make it so scalping becomes, it still exists, but what's his name? Tom will still make money from that scalp. It
That's
would be very
interesting.
interesting.
Oh, the
yeah.
royalty.
Yeah. The
That's
same
very
way when you sell an NFT, you, like me as the
Very
artist, if
interesting.
you sold my NFT to Matt that you bought for me, I would still get paid.
What
Yeah.
podcast did you watch this week?
That just came off the top of my head, motherfucker.
that. Anyways,
Well, I've been talking about that forever.
I saw Gary Vee this morning, maybe.
Oh, here we
okay.
go.
I thought it was another one. Value added tax is what Joe couldn't think of. The
VAT, yeah.
the VAT, which is GST.
Yeah.
Here, I believe.
Well, it's HST here.
Sorry, you're right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's
VAT.
things that don't have tax because they're
VAT is the,
essential,
Oh, I see.
Yeah. like we don't tax produce.
We don't tax produce, exactly.
unless it's. But you do tax a cake, maybe not
Yes.
bread, and that's where the
Right. Do you tax steak?
Yes, I believe meat is taxed. I think so.
not HST. We shouldn't have gone that far that down.
Yeah,
I
this
just
is
want to say
stupid.
value
We're
added
just-
tax.
we're too dumb.
Value added tax. Memes. There's got to be a reason that people aren't taking credit for memes, right? That they're all stolen and just it's like
I think it's because the meme itself is stolen.
exactly.
What do you mean the meme? Somebody makes the meme in
Yes,
the first
what I'm
place.
saying is that person that makes the meme, they're probably making it based on a joke they heard a professional comedian telling. They're just kind of rewording it and putting a photo to it.
Sure, that's fine. You have reworked that now into a different art form.
But there's no celebrity memer.
I know, it's crazy. I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
How is there not like
What are you talking about? Hold on.
a guy called
hold on.
Memezilla who stamps memes, you know?
Fuck Jerry and the fat Jew were stealing memes forever.
They
and
are
got
meme
super,
stealers.
Well, who's
but you just said they're just repurposing.
Okay.
So who
No,
gives a
but
shit?
they weren't stamped like we
so
knew.
the only one was the fat Jew.
We knew that Fuck Jerry was a site where you could go see funny memes. He wasn't a dude writing memes. You know what I mean?
Well, Simon, how about this? Maybe it's because most people aren't super funny and most people just bang like 1 or 2 good memes out a year.
Well, that's interesting, but I would still take credit for it. If you made the funniest meme of all time,
There should be
that
a-
could last a
there should
lifetime.
be a meme awards.
There should be memes on the blockchain, and again,
That's-
this is how
Jesus,
you
this
would.
guy's on fire.
You would always take credit
That
for your
makes
shit.
so much sense.
So much
Memes
sense.
on the blockchain,
Simon V.
but there should
Simon
be
V.
there should be
you,
recognition
Matt.
for memes. I
Well, don't
really
forget,
think-
like people that are in memes are famous because of them. Like Bad Luck Brian, the little girl with the angry shitty
yes,
face. Like
there is fame from being memed or
Yeah.
fame.
Like
makes a meme.
I wrote Matt a message the other day that would have been a perfect fucking meme. It was Elon Musk's dad, right, who who married his fucking stepdaughter
and had 2 kids.
and
with
had 2 kids with them. And my
the old Woody Allen.
yeah, I said, Woody Allen, hold my beer.
Ah,
Wah, wah. I mean, that's a great meme,
memes are great.
and I would stamp it with my
with
virtual.
your Yeti stamp.
Thank you. There
Yeah.
you go.
And they would go, "Who's this Yeti guy
Dude.
making these fire memes?"
It would propel some of these guys into like comedic stardom.
Yeah, I think it's because there's not as much
I think
money
it's
to
a
be.
great idea.
Okay.
I think that there anybody out there like saying, "Look, I'm gonna be Fuck Jerry,
Mm-hmm.
but instead of stealing memes, submit your memes to me and I'll give you credit for
That's what
them.
Fuck Jerry does.
Yeah,
Fuck Jerry doesn't give anybody credit.
There's
Yes, now they
there's
do.
no way there's
now
one
they do?
person making memes.
Once the controversy popped off,
So who are they giving credit to? The person who actually created the meme?
and I don't know why.
And how do you prove that?
And you got to get into the blockchain, but there should
Blockchain,
be should be an at funny page is one of the best memers, and it's just I think it's because it's all derivative and ripped off. No one actually can take full credit for anything, but it makes our days better.
Yeah,
And
there are some really funny
It
memes.
seems like the blockchain would be the solution.
When Joe talks about it, he seems ever so old.
Well, that leads us into they went to super old when they talked about eyesight. And have you still probably have good eyesight?
it's all right.
Like, do you have to wear glasses when you're driving?
No, but it's coming.
I haven't driven since my eyes went bad.
I have to wear glasses to read now. And coincidentally,
Yeah.
it happened, and I'm being totally serious, right after I got the vaccine.
Kamar, when they there's that blue banner. When they when they
Wait, hold on.
yeah.
I wear glasses,
Yeah.
and it happened just this year.
What was I gonna say, Kamar? Whenever I get my eye test done now, like I'm just guessing the last couple
Yeah,
lines.
yeah,
Like it's a total crapshoot.
I don't want to go do that.
I'm like I think D, maybe J, LKF. I don't know.
I'm in denial.
Maybe I should get LASIK,
It only works for 10 years.
and then you just get it done again.
I don't know, but I just know that I don't. Ugh.
Do you guys have any apprehension about wearing glasses? As it's just like
It's
look like a
it's
loser?
just
I'll wear
annoying.
glasses.
No, I look great in the glasses, but it's just annoying.
Like
It's annoying having to put them on.
I wear blue light glasses because I'm constantly in front of a fucking screen, and it's really bad for your eyes. So I have a bunch of like pairs of blue light glasses.
my eyes are shot. I just don't want to accept it.
I went to the optometrist. This is great. Okay, so I can feel myself starting to lose my reading vision. So I'm like, oh shit, I have a problem, you know. So I went to the optometrist to get an eye exam. I hadn't gotten one done since I was like, I don't know, 15 years old or something. And they do the whole test, and at the end, she's like, okay, well, this is your prescription. You need a 0.5 or a 1 times. It's like the weakest prescription. I only find this out after. She's like, here, so go outside and we'll sell you a pair of glasses and whatever. So they go, and I find a great pair of glasses, and they go to sell them to me, and she's like, okay, that'll be $550. I'm like, what are you
it's a
fucking
racket. It's a
talking about?
racket.
So I stormed out of there. It's like the Jew I am. You know what I mean? And then I
Attaboy.
took my prescription and I went to the drugstore. I shit you not. A very nice frame, like tortoiseshell, whatever, $10 for the exact same prescription.
Oh yeah, it's
Like,
it's
what a
it's
racket.
quite a
It's
racket.
a
yeah.
racket.
Listen, I get it. If I was like super not good eyesight and I needed like to wear glasses all the time,
Did you become French Canadian there?
yeah, maybe I would invest in like a $300, $400 pair of
No,
glasses.
you just break
but
and lose glasses. It's a fucking total
not if you were
racket.
wearing sunglasses, yes.
Yeah, I
but
guess if you have
glasses
to
that
keep
you
them
wear
on all the time. Yeah, you're right.
But this only for reading bull. Come on, what the fuck?
Kamar, you know what I
drugstore.
did? You know what I did notice recently is, my hearing. I mean, I did work at nightclubs, live music venues for like.
But do you have a ring? Because that's the worst thing. If you actually are always hearing something, that means it's like
Oh, I know that's
eating or
yeah. No, that's not.
That's the demons banging at the door.
yeah, exactly.
Raggling
Well, I hear
their
them all the
chains,
time.
Yeah.
No, it's not there yet. But I just know like I'm constantly.
You turn stuff up more.
Oh yeah, and my buddy's always like, "Can you not fucking hear?" Like we play video games. He's like, "Can you not fucking hear me?" I'm like, "No, I honestly
See, you
can't."
slowly become blind and deaf until you die, and then you're permanently blind and deaf.
Or you can see it all and hear it all. at that
Oh,
point.
interesting, Matt. It all becomes open.
Generations
Hey,
ago,
oh.
we would have degenerated so much faster and more without all the general signs and stuff. We'd be sitting ducks right now.
Well, you don't know that, right?
I do not know that. Well, I haven't taken any steps to alleviate my eyesight, so I'm still running on.
I'm just saying, if you get rid of screens, like if you're never near a screen and you're not eating like terrible
I
food,
was
your
gonna
eyesight
say, yeah.
and shit might actually.
You're just fucking downing carrots every day, staring at the stars. You're
the only
probably
problem
gonna do
is in
pretty
that
good.
day and age, you got a cut on your finger and you're fucking dead. So there's that too. It's a real.
No, agreed. It just probably wasn't your hearing and eyesight that did.
No,
you
that's what I
in
was gonna
back
say,
then.
yeah.
I imagine that shit was better.
Oh, our environment has caused these things to deteriorate faster.
Glasses are only there to help us once the problem has already begun, right? So I guess maybe like very short term.
That's interesting.
No, because
You
he's
get
right
that
too. Like a lot of
benefit.
people are born with terrible eyesight.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot
That-
about that. Yeah, well, you just kill those people right away. They can't be part of the
That's
tribe.
true. They don't even
because-
see the lion coming.
Well, yeah, they just wouldn't last long,
But,
and they wouldn't be of much use to the tribe. So,
Unless you're like standing behind the cannon, there was a time where there wasn't a lot of noise.
oh, that would be a
lot of
good
noise,
to
like
have
clubs,
a hearing
Yeah, yeah.
disability if you were a cannon
deaf soldier.
cannon person.
The guy just stands beside it.
Just fucking pulling it out. Will doesn't even give a
Stop
shit.
shooting!
He's just fucking. Woo!
I don't know.
It's our own men.
I didn't fact check what he said, but he said there might be only 2 printing presses left.
In the States,
Yeah.
I mean, 2 seems a little weird, like but maybe they all just own each other.
Have you guys ever
Was his
seen a
point.
printing press?
here's my thing. Just real quick. No, I haven't. It feels like there's got to be a couple of hipsters in Williamsburg that have a printing press. They're just not printing like Tom Segura's book. You know
No,
what I
but
mean? That seems like a
Farm to table printing
like a
press?
blacksmith
But
or
even a giant, like a real printing press,
Yeah.
like Simon Schuster, there's one we all know. Harper Collins, Penguin. Like I've named you 3 that I'm pretty sure are still around.
I bet you
know
one of
what
those
I
bought
mean?
one of them.
Well, this is what I'm
says
saying.
might
They
be true.
probably just all own each other, but it's a little misleading. There are still plenty of printing presses. There's a monopoly.
well, hold on, but
He said
news-
there's only 2.
newspapers still get printed daily. Those are printed.
I don't know. The you know the Ottawa Citizen building?
Yeah.
It's for lease. Like it's gone.
Yeah, but they're
but they
still,
still deliver
printing
the paper.
papers.
Where? They were doing
I
it
bought
there,
a paper yesterday, Kamar. They exist
but I'm
Where?
saying that was a printing press.
at the corner store.
The Ottawa Citizen
Yeah.
used to print papers there.
I understand, but they might have
That
moved.
building is shut down.
Yeah, it's probably because they don't make enough money. They might
They
have a
still
smaller.
print papers in Ottawa for the Sun and the Citizen.
I bet they outsource it now to someone else that does 30
But-
papers.
But someone does that. still.
Somebody is printing them. They're not being magically made.
And he
They
lied,
aren't
and-
printing.
No, no, no,
out.
I don't
Printing
think-
press isn't disappearing.
I'm not saying he lied. I think he might be like, because he was saying hardcover books. I know he specifically said if you want a hardcover book, so there may be a specific
Yes,
like.
okay. That's what I was trying to get at. Because when I was in college, there's a printing press in Ottawa.
Yeah.
We went and saw how books were made, and it's crazy. Like the amount of paper.
Oh, yeah, it's
Like,
probably
The
staggering.
paper comes in a big thing, so depending on the size of the book, that has to be cut. Not like
He was talking about
Those
the
industrial cutters.
it's
fucking nuts.
and that's just cutting the paper.
I know.
Beside the ink and the thing.
He was talking about the printing presses, not like newspapers. He was talking about ones that would print his book. And I think he was referring to the fact that Penguin, Simon Schuster, they're all owned by, there are probably 2 companies that own all of these subsidiaries. So no matter where you go, you're dealing with one of those 2 companies. But there's still plenty of publishing houses out there.
Well, that's different though. He was talking about printing.
I know, but a publishing house, it should be a print. Whether
Well,
they're
not you don't know anymore, right?
I know,
They might,
but whether they're outsourcing their printing press or not, who fucking cares? You're getting it. You know what I mean? There are still books.
His point was that when you have a deadline, you have to get your book in, or you're at the back of a queue because there no printing press is sitting around waiting to.
It's
print
kind
your
of like
book.
the machines that dig the tunnels for the subway systems.
yeah, they're already
There's
booked.
so
like
few of them
yeah.
in the world. Why? Because there are so few subway tunnels being built at the same time that it's just not effective to have more than a couple, I guess.
I think it's not good to have those
Same
machines
with-
sitting idle either.
Same with cranes. There's another example. Like, what is it? 85% of the world's cranes are in Dubai.
I have never tried it. Have you guys experienced kratom?
No,
They're talking about kratom.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I hear about it all the time because every single podcast I listen to sells kratom.
I don't think it's legal here.
I believe this is some sort of
I don't believe it's legal here
matchy
either.
powder, right?
It's one of those drugs that they sell. It's like Delta 8 in the States or Delta 9. I, don't
think
remember
you
which
can
one.
order it on the internet though.
Well, you probably could, but I think it's like a cross
a
between
controlled
like
substance
weed
here.
and an opioid. I think that's kind of like the way people describe it.
What's the one you put under your tongue that's like a weed that the Somalians
Chad,
like?
No, that's
calf.
That's it.
Something like
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember.
Well,
what the
in
fuck
the
it-
States, like if you go into like a corner store,
yeah,
you can buy
fucking
like
bath salts.
you can buy the boner pills,
Yeah,
right? Those are like that's crossing some line. You can buy Delta, either 8 or 9. I don't remember which one it is, but it's just pretty much weed, but it's somehow legal even when it's illegal. And Kratom as well, depending
I
on
have-
the state.
I have not, Kumar. No.
Anyone out there, let us know your experience. I sort of went down the Jordan Peterson path.
Hold
So
on,
do
you
you
forgot.
really want to know
Wait,
that,
wait,
or are
wait.
you just saying that like we say sometimes?
Oh, he's just saying that because
Yeah.
none of us are going to respond
That's
to the person saying.
what I said last time about the stars. We weren't really.
Oh no, that I wanted to know.
Oh,
that I
here
really
we
wanted
go.
to know.
Yeah, we responded.
Yeah.
Someone will say something.
Yeah. Come on, you forgot off the jump. Tom said some crazy story about some fan pissing during his set.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. They were backing him up. They didn't like that somebody was talking shit to him during the show,
Yeah,
so they
so he
pissed
pulled his
on him.
dick out and pissed on
What
the
is
guy
with
at
all
the
this
show.
pissing at shows?
Super
Well, I
weird.
guess Kamar understands.
Oh, I would say
He
that.
pisses anywhere he wants.
I would say that's
Dick in hand.
post-pandemic. People don't know how to behave.
That's a great band name. Dick in hand.
Dick in hand, or post-pandemic dick in hand.
Well, post pandemic is good too as a band name.
Kumar, you're a wildcat. How many times a year do you think you fuck outside? Currently, at your tender age of 46.
0.
Yeah,
Zero.
I
Wow.
would say the same thing 0 times.
I just thought
Were you
his-
going to ask me?
No,
Oh.
I assume I was almost certain yours was 0. I don't know how you bring a sheet
Does
outside.
camping? You're an idiot. Fucking idiot, this guy.
That's it. Okay, we're done. Have a
Oh,
good-
no. I thought you were
No,
just-
I thought Simon wasn't done calling you a
Other
fucking
restaurant.
Oh,
idiot.
no.
I thought you
This
were about to tell
pizza
us.
fucker over here.
I thought you were about to tell us you were fucking outside at
This
Chambla all week.
child
No,
pizza
no.
fucker.
Didn't fuck once outside of Tremblant.
He went down.
Oh,
the-
you thought he was about to brag about something?
No,
I-
I'm too.
I know
Ask me-
it was a
ask me
super.
how long I fuck
Dude, it
outside.
is. It was a really weird thing to ask.
No,
all-
I was
that's-
thinking about him.
Without
that's-
having a
that's how I
brag to go.
preface it.
I fuck all the time.
No.
We fucked in a tree.
I was thinking about him pissing in your backyard constantly, and then I thought about how some girl just appeared there, and I was like, Kumar seems like the kind of guy who just like pulls his dick out like in an alley with
Oh,
a chick and just like fucks
Matt,
her.
trust me. When she popped her head up, I was like, was she sucking his
No
dick
way.
in my alley?
'Cause I tell
Look at
you-
how happy he is. He's like, Simon thought I was getting my dick.
I know.
And then
but
dick in
there
hand
was
looked
way
me
I was
right in the
There's
face.
no way that was happening. I couldn't tell you more, but that's hilarious. He went down the Jordan.
I could tell you more.
he went
but I
down.
can't.
He went down the Jordan Peterson path when they talk about the ordinary model.
Yeah, yeah.
But he did it softer than the way Jordan Peterson did it.
Yeah.
Like, this is not beautiful. Meh.
Well, they had a conversation.
Exactly.
Jordan Peterson decided to make it part of his life mission to fucking.
But you think
Well, and he
about
made it personal because, like, it's one thing to be like, I don't think that we should make being like, overweight like a healthy thing. It's another to be like, this specific girl on the cover of the
Yeah.
swimsuit issue is disgusting to me. Like it added a level of like,
it just shows the two approaches to something that
of course.
You know the part.
optics are
The
different.
part I don't understand, and this will all include Joe in this, is for the most part, Joe is like, do whatever the fuck you want,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's being fat. In which case, then he has a
Or
huge
competing
problem
against
with it.
women.
No, that's totally different. But-
I was kidding. Take it easy.
Sorry.
I'm not editing shit out.
Well, what were you gonna edit out?
Nothing.
Silence?
I'm not editing nothing out of this. People are just gonna hear you clapping through the whole fucking
Well,
thing.
that's hilarious. I didn't actually think you were gonna.
I know
edit
you
anything
didn't.
out.
I
What the
know.
fuck were we talking
it's a
about?
running joke. Joe doesn't let people be fat.
Oh yeah, like you can smoke cigarettes, you can smoke crack, you can do heroin, you can do whatever as long as it's not hurting somebody else. Which being fat is not hurting anybody else but yourself.
Till it comes to you being a burden to the healthcare system.
Well, that
That only exists here.
and I can
Yeah, it
understand.
does, especially here.
No, but it doesn't exist there. You're not a burden on the healthcare system. You pay.
it's the same idea as cigarettes, right? Like
Exactly.
you get
That's
taxed
what
a
I was-
lot, but you don't get taxed on sugar and shit.
No, but
Yes,
I
you
was
do.
saying,
Yes, you do.
but
I
not
was,
like cigarettes.
but that's why I was agreeing with Kamar that up here he is correct. Being fat affects all of us, but in the states,
He would have that lane
in the
to be
states,
in.
you truly have that freedom to be fat, like you're saying.
but that's not what Joe is saying. Joe is like,
Yes, I get it, but Simon, I'm backing
yeah,
you
yeah,
up.
yeah.
in
No,
that-
no, I understand. Joe,
He's propping us
let me
up.
divert my. Joe is saying that, you know, do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt somebody else or hurt you, I guess, in this case with the being fat. But I don't know, you could be a heroin addict and Joe doesn't seem to have a huge problem with it where you're clearly hurting yourself. So I don't know. There seems to be a weird double standard there with the
I thought
fatness.
what Tom was saying though is he wants to see a world where there are things to attain. There is excellence, and I felt Joe sort of fell into what Mark Anderson was saying last week. Like, do we want just or everyone's the same, or do we want to see people achieve and see stuff to attain? And I,
If everyone is beautiful, no one's beautiful.
maybe we're conditioned because we're the product of it, and we just can't see it. That the world would be a better place if we didn't have models or idols and stuff like that. I
I
don't
love
know.
when Tom. I thought about it. I love when Tom was like, "These girls are so beautiful. You don't even see girls like that in real life." And I was like, "It's so true."
Oh, you do at Blues Fest.
No, not like these. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but like it's
Joe credited it to the participation crowd, which is sort of weird. Like, you wanted to win stuff when we were young, right? You want to be the best.
still
and
wanna win
be
stuff.
competitive.
Yeah.
And it sort of weirds you out when you see like, oh no, we don't keep score or whatever. Whether it'll be detrimental or not, no one knows.
of course it will be.
We'll
We've
see.
already seen it.
I mean, listen, when my son played soccer, like when he was a kid, they didn't keep score, but we all knew what the score was. Do you know what I mean? Like I think it's kind of a cop out.
Well, we're kids.
that's why it's a cop-out,
we're kids-
too, 'cause
Still competitive. The kids are still competitive. They still want to win.
Were they
what I'm
upset
also
if they
Just because they're
lost?
giving everyone trophies.
the kids aren't stupid either.
This is what I mean.
The kids walk off like, yeah, we're all getting medals, but like, I
but we
crushed
got
you.
a trophy,
Yeah.
motherfucker. Like,
But there comes a point where participation isn't enough. And you are in competition for things.
yeah, for sure. But you know what? If you're playing the game, you've done enough.
I was just gonna
There's
say,
tons of people who don't even play.
Joe's whole thing is get out there and be active. So like, if the participation medal is just that, it's saying, hey, you actually got out
It's
here.
definitely more.
Listen,
more
if you
good than
want
bad.
to say people be healthy, like get out there and do things, absolutely. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know if winning or losing has that much to do with winning and losing in the real world. Like, unless you're becoming like a uber competitive like business person, you know what I mean?
I want to say this too. I think people like Joe and Tom, Tom didn't really get fit until he was rich and could afford like a personal trainer.
No, he
and
was big and fat.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And like, I see this a lot where like people get rich and then they get fit. And of course, it's so much easier to get fit when you can afford a personal trainer and a diet regimen and like all this shit. Like, I get it. Your average person can strive
Yeah.
for that and should, and you can work out at home on the cheap and you should. But these guys act like they just like,
Well, Joe did it on his own. You can't
Joe,
take that
I'm
away
not taking it away from Joe,
yeah.
but I'm saying like someone like Tom to come on and like it's like, dude, you struggled with weight, and good on him that he actually was proactive to try and like get skinny and fit. But I'm just saying, like, hearing rich people be like, you need to get fit, like, dude, you have a personal trainer.
There's nothing funnier than Trump promoting himself.
Oh my god.
He's the worst, but he's the best.
What did he do?
Remember he was calling that guy in the 80s
He's saying-
as his assistant.
Oh, dude, that was the best. He had an alter ego.
Let me tell you, he's richer than people think, and this guy fucks.
Dude, what was the name of his alter ego?
Oh, it was like,
Because whatever it is, Kamar,
Oh, it was
that
Barron.
should be your
Something Barron.
stage
Yeah,
name.
it was like Tom Barron or
Tom
something.
Barron, yeah. I
But
should
my
have written
favorite is
down.
that
That should be your stage name.
my favorite is that he does the most Donald Trump thing ever, which is like he just Clark Kents it. Like puts on a pair of glasses and is like, I'm no longer Donald Trump. Like the voice alone.
Now.
Well, he's
now.
not going.
Maybe back then it
he's
was a
not
little
going
harder.
into places and pretending to be this guy. Why would he get dressed up?
Kamar, I guess my point though is like back then journalists were on fucking point.
But I
So-
don't think there's recordings of Trump
I hear
as
you.
much.
I hear you. But my point is like this guy was calling like one of the top journalists at the time. This guy knows what Donald Trump sounds. Do you know what I mean?
He sounded different.
agree.
I thought he did a good job of disguising
I
his
don't know,
voice. John Barron.
John
that was his
Barron.
Okay, I
name.
said Tom.
Or
Sorry, I was-
John Miller or David Dennison.
Well, then you don't know who's
he
calling
had
you.
3.
I just think that's hilarious.
And knowing Trump too, he probably got the names fucked up. Like mid-interview, he's like, "Yeah, I John Miller," and he's like, "Wait a minute, I thought I was talking to Don."
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think you're talking to? Then he called Canada a communist country.
Again.
It is important that it pointed out that Trudeau with the ad hominem attacks just discredits him, as we say with anyone who criticizes someone calling them names.
Yeah, I think. Listen,
Especially for Willie, there's never a time or place to do that.
I don't know. Sorry, start again. Trudeau sucks. We all agree on that, don't we?
yes, but Kamar. Listen, it's like I was saying when Singh a couple weeks ago was like, "Yeah, I met with truckers. I meet with a lot of people that I disagree with." That's
how
the
you do it.
diplomatic approach
how
you're
you do it.
supposed to take. Is you don't cram everyone into one shitty box and just say everyone there across the board is that. I agree with that. Of course, I think most people do.
And I say, as his legacy, that should not be forgotten.
Like right before the pandemic, Trudeau got caught in like the biggest fucking scandal. Ooh. Remember that? I think he might have started the pandemic to take eyes off him.
I like it.
He had just come back from China.
He called China up, said,
we.
"I have a 25."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My head's blowing because I thought it was a different we, but now I'm thinking about it. It's like.
Someone call Sam Tripoli.
we
I
don't
also love
need
how
him
Joe
either.
was like, "Man, Trump called like Huawei and all this stuff." I'm like, there was a lot of people ringing the bell before that.
Yeah,
no, but
we
Trump
still
was
use
saying,
Huawei.
Trump was saying
Who?
we don't.
Canada use Huawei.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
yeah.
Okay, but hold
I
on.
don't think so.
I think so.
Name the last time you saw someone who was like, "Check out my Huawei."
Maybe we stopped using their phones.
I think we did. Once we took her hostage and wouldn't give her back.
But even
I
then,
think-
even then,
We'll
even
do some
before that,
research.
do you ever remember anyone showing you a Huawei?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting. I've never seen one in the wild.
But I haven't either. Isn't that
in
interesting
captivity.
though? How like
Yeah.
all of these things, Twitter, Facebook, whatever company, everything you're using, every app, they're all stealing your data.
Which is fine because they're American.
No. I'm just saying they are. But TikTok does it like literally a million times better.
But is there a point to fight it?
I don't know. It feels weird to just give that to
The enemy.
the enemy.
Just
I mean, they're not
actively.
our enemy, but like
Are they not?
They're all our enemy. It should be the same giving that information to anybody.
But
you know?
in fighting it, you're not really winning. Enough of it's getting
Why?
gotten.
You look at China as your enemy?
The enemy of North America, most likely. Yeah.
But they've portrayed that. They might not be. They might not be. I
Well, okay, let
they
me
might
ask
not
you
ha-
this.
they
Because
might
if
not-
you really
we hope
did, you
Canadians
would never
suffer,
buy
or Canadians
Chinese
have a bad way of
anything.
living.
And we
You don't have a
do all
choice.
the
You don't have a
time.
choice anymore. Do you
Well,
own
you probably
shirts?
could.
Really?
Yeah.
Name a Canadian shirt maker.
Well, that's
You
it.
wouldn't be buying it from China. You could buy it from like Singapore.
Are they the
or
biggest adversary
India.
or biggest ally?
India supports China, so you're still indirectly supporting China, right? If you buy Indian,
Okay, well, you could buy it from Thailand.
those Thai shirts.
Okay, first of all, I don't even think that China is like one of the biggest textile places anymore. I think India, Sri Lanka,
Not
other
Sri Lanka,
places
maybe
have taken
Indonesia.
over. Indonesia. Don't tell me not Sri Lanka. Why not Sri Lanka? Oh no.
Well,
they're
first of all,
having a
the whole
huge problem.
country's
They're
burning down
bankrupt.
right now. I don't think they're building
I just
anything.
heard some bad stuff about Sri Lanka. Actually, they just had a coup. Did you hear this? They had a coup. They took over.
We talked about it last week on the post.
Did we? And they were swimming in the guy's pool and stuff.
Yeah.
Did we?
That's a
We
real
talked about that.
insurrection. Yeah,
I
we
wasn't
did.
listening.
Of course.
Yes, we know.
75% of all advertising in America is pharmaceutical.
That's scary as fuck.
Joe said it. He said it. We're one of the only two countries in the world, and in the same breath has the audacity to badmouth Canada.
Yeah,
like
these
look
communist
in the
bricks.
fucking mirror.
Wow, great point. Great point. Great point.
Also, like, think about it too. The other country that allows it, they have super stringent restrictions on
So
it.
it's only your country.
Yeah.
You're only your country
Keep
that,
that.
does
Keep that in your pocket.
It's
Although, come
only
on,
when
your
we get on the
country
show,
that is in
although-
compliance.
Pull your dick out, and that fact on Joe
Although-
walk out.
Will
Kamar-
be written on my dick.
Kamar and I have said this multiple times. 75% of ads up here right now are for gambling. So I don't know.
It's just as egregious.
Or
what
Bitcoin
it's
or
promoting.
something.
Well, no, I don't think that any of them can afford to advertise.
You know
right
what's
now.
so funny though is on Tripoli's podcast, love him. I love Tripoli. I'm just going to put that out there. I have nothing bad to say about Tripoli anymore, except that he's running an ad for crypto on his podcast. And the ad is like guaranteed to make you a certain amount of money. Follow the, it's crazy. Like, get rid of it. It's so nuts at this point.
And then
you
that
know?
one, they say they use it and see.
Yeah, I know. This is what I mean. Like,
Everyone
don't
does
get
it.
that out of
Back
there.
to what I said.
Yeah, I couldn't advertise a Ponzi scheme. Sorry, Kumar. I would turn that one down. I know you'd be angry
We'd
about
have
it.
a fight about it. So the company,
I'd still take
the company lost, made 12 billion, lost,
Yeah, still a great day.
killed 60,000 people, fined 5 billion, still made 7. So 60,000 people was $5 billion.
What on the hoo-hoo?
They made $12 billion.
Who did?
Glaxo, all
Kumar.
of them. Say a pharmaceutical company.
We also, just to play Diablo Avocado, which I hate to do in this case, but we don't know that they could have argued that like we only made $5 billion off the drug. The rest of it was R&D. I'm just saying in that case.
Yeah, you could say that, but I'm just saying 60,000 people is worth about $5 billion this day and age. Eastern European women are some of the hottest women in the world, I've got to say.
Oh, Hungarian women are like,
But not only them physically,
Smoke
but their
shows.
attitude and their strength and their assuredness is something else. They don't fuck around.
dude, there was this guy that used to come into the bar I worked at in Vancouver, and he was Turkish, super nice guy. And occasionally he would bring in his wife, and she was a fucking ice queen. This woman hated me.
But she
couldn't-
was dead sexy.
I mean, she was, yeah, like I guess, but I mean, this woman fucking. I don't think I've ever met someone that hated me more than this
An
woman.
attitude, man.
Could not get a smile out of her.
I love it. What does it say about Russia that that's where Edward Snowden went? Or did he have a hookup there? Like, did he sell them information that we don't even know he did?
I think he went somewhere where he knew the U.S. couldn't come and get him.
Mm-hmm.
Like where else? Where else do you think he could have gone that the U.S. doesn't have some sort of extradition with?
Brazil, India, China, Venezuela, Cuba,
Some Middle Eastern country.
Iran.
You would think the Middle East. That's where he'd go. I don't know.
No,
about
I
that.
don't think he'd want to go there. You asked me where he could
Yeah.
go.
I'm saying maybe Brazil. Brazil seems like a better shot, but again, maybe he has family in Russia. We don't know the whole story. I don't know. I just don't think he has as many options as we might.
Maybe they gave him like a job working at one of their radio stations because they like an American dissident or something, you know?
You're also forgetting that Russia has like a huge hacking sort of online.
Yeah, it's either one thing could be he felt that was a less oppressive state than
I'm
America.
sure he was able to make a deal with Putin. That was more.
That's
to
what I
the
think.
point.
That's why he's there.
I just have a tough time believing he was like, this place is less oppressive.
But
Well-
seeing what he stands for, and he would,
Maybe less oppressive than Iran or something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
or more the surveillance state.
Well, Russia has an insane surveillance state. We know this. So I doubt it's like,
Anyways, he must have
Listen,
made
and there
a
are
deal.
only so many countries, Matt is right, that are willing to stand up to the United States. So you only have a couple of choices, you know?
yeah. And you're not going to Venezuela or Bolivia or, you know what I mean? I don't think those are options. Brazil was the only one you named that I was like, yeah, that would make sense.
They talked about the cartels, and make no mistake, they are the most powerful, richest, violence they've ever been today, only to be eclipsed by tomorrow. And it's crazy. You said they got into the avocado business.
And limes, yeah.
Like, they are conglomerate corporations.
They also bought those to smuggle drugs.
To-
They smuggle
to
them
put
in
'em-
fake avocados, yeah.
Sure, whatever they're doing, but to call them cartels is almost,
Yeah, they've kind of become like another party of the government.
they're oil cartels. Like there has to be a name to make them bigger to seem more
Yeah.
ominous or scary.
They are big drugs.
Well,
They-
they,
they-
are.
they
They
are
are
the
kind of
biggest
big
pharma.
pharma.
Yes, they are.
Over there.
because
The biggest pharma.
Purdue or Pfizer only kills you with their drugs. They
Yeah.
don't rob you.
I saw the craziest video. It's insane. These two gay guys are in Mexico. They have a dash cam that's pointed in the car. They obviously took a wrong turn down some road. And you can see in the dash cam like a truck start to follow them.
Nice looking truck too, probably.
And they start like freaking out, and the truck like pulls them off the side, and these fucking cartel guys get out with guns, and luckily these two gay guys start bawling their fucking eyes out, and then the cartel guys are like, they realize what's happening, right? They're like, oh, these are just two fucking, you know, gay gringos who took the wrong turn, and they kind of calm them down. They're like, okay, it's okay, it's okay, we're not like
We're just gonna rob you.
yeah, no, they didn't even. Dude, I think they just turned them around.
That's
Again,
what I would be like too. Just immediately break into tears, you know?
Well, you'll never get on a plane to get there, so you're
yeah,
avoid that.
you're good to go. Yeah,
But I think if going to Mexico, it's on resort only.
I
None
won't,
of this,
dude.
none of this. I want to get on a. I just want to be amongst the people. And get
Even the
around.
resorts haven't been safe lately.
Mary
No,
keeps,
those are all hits. Like a guy is there who shouldn't be.
Oh, I
there.
get it, but you might be there
Yeah.
at the same time. I don't care why it happens.
But I think they have
no,
pieces.
Kamar's like, trust me, it's a,
they weren't actually coming for me,
from
but
what
I got
what
shot.
what I understand is I think they have a financial interest even in the resorts, so
They absolutely do.
they want to
own
shoot a
all
guy in the
the
back of the head,
resorts.
not.
But
have the
that could be
spraying
an
bullets.
if I work for this cartel, I might go to your place, shoot it up so that you do badly because it's owned by the other cartel. Either way, poor Simon caught in the crossfire. Caught in the crossfire.
Kamar, Mary's been trying to get me to go to Mexico for like the last 5 years.
Oh, you
and
should definitely
I'm
go.
staunchly against it.
because of violence.
I'm the type of guy. I also
You should
need
go to Costa Rica then.
I also need to find weed. We might go to Costa Rica. I have a friend that lives there.
I'm sure you're. Oh yeah, that would be tough. I mean, you can find any other drug.
No, I want weed. We're just
Celebrity.
gonna go to Austin. That's
They,
what we're
they
doing.
talked a bit about celebrity pandering is gross.
Celebrity pandering.
Just whatever the woke thing is. Like most cases, they may not even know what they think or what they think, but it is influential in some way, and that people look up these people, and it should be called out when it can be. Did you see American Werewolf in London?
No,
Okay. Did you see Pan's Labyrinth?
no.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I've seen both of those movies.
Oh, I apologize. I mean, American Werewolf in London. That's like way before my time.
Yeah, that's not really fair.
Pan's Labyrinth is not before your time though, but it's
No,
okay.
but I don't. It is old, and I don't. I
a
didn't
classic.
see it. Yeah, it
Those
is.
are the only two movies you had prepared.
We'll get some more. What do you think about Tom's idea that we're limited in what we can make monsters? Like they're all sort of derivative.
I totally disagreed with that.
Because you invent monsters every day in your art.
Well, I do, and I also know there are so many different type of monsters. Like we could go through a bunch of different examples right now that are totally different types, not derivative of each other at all. Unless you think that like something scary makes it all the same, you know?
I think Tom's looking at it the wrong way too. A lot of filmmaking is nods. Like Quentin Tarantino is constantly doing little nods to other films, right? And sometimes that's just it. You're creating a new monster for your film, and you were like, Rick Carlisle was my guy growing up, so I'm gonna pull for, you know what I mean? Like that happens a lot.
Well, what's the last scariest? I mean, did you watch the Stranger Things?
Well, the first Stranger Things monster, the Demagogue.
Was sort of the Pan Labyrinth monster.
It was a very cool thing, though. His whole mouth opened up, but
And it was almost like if Little Shop of Horrors was on a body.
yeah, kind of. It kind of looked like a Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
It was cool, but again, like there are lots of different kind of monsters. I disagree with what he was saying. So just watch Pan's Labyrinth. You know what I mean? Just that movie has so many different things.
Well, that he brought it up. Those were some of the best.
We have a disagreement.
What was I gonna say though? They were talking about Pan's Labyrinth. Anyways, go on.
He told the whole story about how he started, which I had heard on Are You Garbage. He worked on America's Most Wanted, 9/11, selling apartments in Boston. It was really interesting. Like it was quite his whole story. And then I said I didn't even want to work for America's Most Wanted, and so I got in a car and drove to LA. And they've been friends for how long and never knew
Yeah.
that part of it. And he gave a shout out to Sam Tripoli, who got him started in comedy. And
Oh,
Joe
nice.
said, I love Sam Tripoli.
Nice, but we'll never have him on the podcast.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe that's changing. And Joe has said that
It's not changing.
he has stopped suggesting people start podcasts.
Yeah.
He said that out loud.
Has he?
He said, I used to tell everyone they should start a podcast. And I was like, yes, you did.
I think he found out about us.
No, that'd be
He's
hilarious.
like, you know what? This
Wait,
has gone
it's
too
jump the
far.
shark.
Yeah, this has gone
It's
too
jump
far.
the shark.
I can't. This is enough.
if that's the case,
Then we've done our job.
done our
Yes,
job.
yeah, there you go. Touche.
You're welcome. And
Podcast world.
That's so true, man.
there's nothing sadder than knowing that there's successful people who are miserable.
Well, we'll get to that in Paul Verzi,
And
I guess.
it's a sort of, we'll get to it as well. But they were talking about Richard Jenny and just people who are like so bummed, but they seem like they're happy, and that like you may attain the success you want and you still won't be happy. What's the point?
Well, it's like Blow. Like if you think about the movie Blow, he was the happiest when he was married to that first chick, the stewardess, just selling weed on the beach. And he even said it at that point in the movie, like, I could just be here forever and be happy. And then she dies and he pushes on to like bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's never enough. And all it does is like unravel his life. Sorry, just kind of a weird
Well, I think we'll get into Verzi. We'll come back to this in Verzi because it totally applies.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what I was saying. We'll circle back. Is that it for Tom? That's all you had?
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's all I had.
Emmanuel. You remember Emmanuel?
The
You remember
softcore
Blue
porn,
Nuit.
of course.
Before your time.
Oh no, I remember Blue Nuit.
Okay.
I remember jerking off to scrambled porn for sure.
And what's crazy about Bleu Nuit, this is the crazy part. So it would start at midnight.
Yeah.
Emmanuel would start at midnight. You wouldn't actually see anything good
Till like
for
12:25.
maybe even later, man. Like
Yeah, a little
so-
muff at 12:30,
Dude,
just before the.
like,
But I'm flipping between SNL and wrestling. SNL
and
or
then
wrestling.
come back to
Well, no, I just don't want to be on if
so
someone comes
weird. Kamar
downstairs
and just gets bored and ends up jerking off to the wrestling.
No, to Chris Farley.
more than once.
Either or.
Rated boys.
Give it a. I guess I'm going to give it a 4. I just love Tom.
I give it a 4. He's the nicest guy. He's just
Tom's
so
the shit.
reasonable.
I love his laugh.
He
His,
doesn't
his
come off
sense
like
of
a
humor.
successful dick.
The best. The best.
Toothless shows.
Yeah, I love Tom too. I'll give it a 3.75. I'll give it a 4. Just
We
my
have an
thing won't be.
Got agreements coming out the motherfucking wazoo. All right, we're going to take a break. This week we're actually going to pay a bill. I know for certain because I did a little bit of pre-work. And we'll be back.